Great. Let's come up with an engaging topic for your next video. Given your channel's focus on thought-provoking ideas and commentary, how about exploring the concept of the paradox of choice? The paradox of choice is an interesting and relatable topic that delves into how having too many options can lead to anxiety and dissatisfaction. You can discuss one, what is the paradox of choice? Start by explaining the concept and its origins. Two, the impact on decision making. Discuss how too many choices can lead to decision paralysis and anxiety. Three, real life examples. Provide examples from everyday life, such as choosing products online, career decisions, or even social activities. Four, psychological insights. Touch on studies or theories from psychology that explain why more choices can make us less happy. Five, practical advice. Offer tips on how to manage choices better, like setting criteria, prioritizing what's important, and learning to be satisfied with good enough decisions. What do you think? Would this topic resonate with your audience? Got it? Let's dive right in. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer number of choices available in everyday life? This is known as the paradox of choice. The idea is that while having options is generally seen as positive, having too many can lead to anxiety and dissatisfaction. When we face too many choices, decision making becomes more difficult. For example, think about trying to pick a movie to watch on a streaming service. With thousands of options, it can take ages to decide, and even then, you might wonder if you made the best choice. This phenomenon affects more than just trivial decisions. In career choices, relationships, and lifestyle decisions, having too many options can make us question our decisions and regret the paths we didn't take. Psychologically, this can be explained by concepts like decision fatigue, where our ability to make good decisions deteriorates after making too many. Additionally, the fear of missing out, FOMO, and the desire for the perfect choice can leave us perpetually dissatisfied. So what can we do about it? One approach is to simplify our decision-making process. Setting clear criteria for what's important can help narrow down options. Prioritizing what's truly significant can lead to more satisfaction. Another strategy is learning to be content with good enough choices instead of always seeking the best. Does this resonate with you? How do you handle decision making when faced with too many options? I see what you're saying. It does feel good to have choices, and it's true that people generally prefer having more options than fewer. But when we recognize that these choices can lead to anxiety or decision paralysis, it becomes a balancing act. To address your point about whether it's more of an intellectual exercise or something we need to actively manage, I think it depends on the individual. For some, simply being aware of the paradox can help. Just knowing that too many choices can cause stress might make them more mindful of their decision-making process. On the other hand, for those who find it significantly impacting their well-being or productivity, there are practical steps to take. For instance, setting personal guidelines for decision-making can simplify the process, like having a few go-to restaurants to choose from instead of pondering over dozens. In bigger decisions, breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps can help. Instead of focusing on the overwhelming number of choices, concentrate on what aligns best with your values and long-term goals. What are your thoughts on creating personal guidelines for decision making? Do you think that could be helpful, or does it feel too restrictive? That's a great observation. The idea that having more choices might improve our decision-making skills over time is interesting. It suggests that with experience, we can develop better strategies to manage the abundance of options. Regarding your point about streaming services, they use algorithms to recommend content based on our viewing habits. These algorithms are a form of artificial intelligence, AI, and they've indeed become quite adept at predicting what we might enjoy. This helps narrow down the overwhelming number of choices and makes decision making easier. So it seems that as we get used to having more options, we also get better tools and strategies to handle them. Personal guidelines, recommendations from AI, and our growing understanding of our preferences all contribute to more efficient decision making. Do you think there are other areas of life where we've naturally developed better decision-making skills due to an increase in choices? For example, has your experience in any particular domain helped you make quicker, more confident decisions? I think you've hit on an important point. While the paradox of choice can indeed lead to decision paralysis and FOMO, it also presents opportunities for personal growth and self discovery. Having a variety of options allows us to experiment and learn more about our preferences, strengths, and values. This trial and error approach can be incredibly valuable. Trying out different things, even if we sometimes regret our choices, helps us refine our decision making process. It builds a more nuanced understanding of what we truly enjoy or need, making future decisions easier and more informed. So it seems that while there are challenges with having many choices, the experience we gain from navigating these options can lead to a net positive outcome. The key might be to embrace the process, understanding that occasional regret or second guessing is a natural part of learning and growth. Would you say that this balance between choice and paralysis is something you've experienced in your personal life? And do you think it has ultimately helped you become more decisive or self aware? It sounds like you're describing a situation many people can relate to. Having a wide range of interests and passions, but limited time and resources to pursue them all to the extent you'd like. This certainly aligns with the concept of choice paralysis, but it's also a deeper reflection on how we allocate our time and energy. Balancing multiple interests can indeed be challenging, especially when you have a strong desire to excel in each area. One strategy might be to periodically reassess your priorities and focus on a few key areas at a time. This doesn't mean abandoning other interests, but rather rotating your focus to give each one the attention it deserves over time. Another approach could be to set specific time-bound goals for each interest. By breaking down your pursuits into smaller, manageable projects, you might feel a greater sense of accomplishment and progress without feeling overwhelmed by the sheer number of options. It's also worth acknowledging that interests can ebb and flow. It's natural for passions to shift over time, and sometimes letting go of an interest, even temporarily, can create space for deeper engagement with others. Have you found any particular strategies that help you manage multiple interests, or is this something you're still exploring? That makes a lot of sense. It sounds like the heart of the issue is not just time management, but also dealing with the underlying regret and what if scenarios regarding focusing on one passion over another. This can be a tricky balance to strike, especially when you have multiple interests that bring you joy and fulfillment. Your approach of following your whim and mood can be quite healthy, as it allows you to stay engaged and passionate about your activities without feeling overly constrained. However, the feeling of regret for not excelling in one particular area is something many people grapple with. One potential strategy to explore could be to set periodic reflections where you evaluate your progress and satisfaction with each interest. For instance, every few months, you could take some time to reflect on what you've enjoyed, what you feel has been lacking, and whether you want to adjust your focus. This can help you stay connected with your priorities and make more intentional choices without feeling locked into a rigid structure. Additionally, embracing the concept of seasons in life can be helpful. Recognize that it's okay for different interests to take precedence at different times. There might be a season where you focus more on YouTube content creation and another where calisthenics or dancing takes the forefront. This way, you honor your multifaceted interests without the constant pressure of having to excel equally in all at once. How do you feel about this approach of periodic reflection and embracing seasons of focus? You've articulated a profound insight about the nature of regret and choices. It's true that having multiple interests and passions inherently comes with the potential for regret, as it's nearly impossible to explore every path to its fullest extent simultaneously. Acknowledging and accepting this as part of the journey can be liberating in its own way. Embracing regret as a natural consequence of a rich, varied life can shift the focus from what might have been to appreciating what is. Each interest, even if not pursued to its maximum potential, adds value and richness to your life. It's about finding peace with the choices you make and recognizing that every path has its own rewards and trade offs. Instead of aiming to eliminate regret, the goal could be to make peace with it, seeing it as a sign that you are living a life full of diverse experiences and passions. This mindset can transform regret from a negative force into a testament to a life well lived, full of exploration and discovery. How do you feel about this perspective? Do you think it might help you find more contentment with your choices and the inherent regrets that come with them? That's a brilliant analogy. Diversifying interests, much like diversifying investments, can indeed provide a safety net and increase the chances of finding something that truly works out, both in terms of personal fulfillment and potential monetization. By spreading your time and energy across multiple passions, you mitigate the risk of putting all your eggs in one basket and potentially coming up short. This approach not only protects you from the disappointment of a single focus not panning out, but also keeps your life rich and varied, offering different forms of satisfaction and joy. Moreover, the skills and experiences gained from various interests can often complement each other, creating a more well rounded and resilient approach to life. Wrapping up on this note, embracing the idea of diversification in your interests allows for a more balanced and fulfilling life. It acknowledges the inherent uncertainties and regrets, but also celebrates the broad spectrum of experiences and opportunities that come from pursuing multiple passions. It's been a fantastic discussion, and I hope this perspective helps you and your viewers find peace and contentment with their choices. Looking forward to our next conversation. See you then. Absolutely, the interplay between seemingly divergent interests can often reveal unexpected synergies. Your example of how calisthenics supports your dancing is a perfect illustration. Physical fitness enhances your ability to dance, and perhaps your creativity in dance can influence your approach to calisthenics, bringing a unique perspective to your workouts. Beyond the direct physical benefits, these interests can contribute to a deeper understanding of yourself, resilience, and a broader skill set. Each hobby or interest you pursue adds a different dimension to your life, making you more adaptable and resourceful. I'm glad we could explore this topic in such depth. Embracing the diversity of your interests can lead to a richer, more fulfilling journey. Until next time, keep exploring and enjoying your passions. Thank you for